Look at this massive skeleton. This is the Tyrannosaurus rex we all know. 8 tons of bone and muscle, perfectly adapted to dominate the top of the prehistoric food chain. It's the most famous and well-studied apex predator to ever walk the earth. For decades, we operated under a specific assumption about how this animal grew. The standard biological model suggested a massive biological speedrun. The accepted timeline claimed a T-Rex hatched from an egg and reached that towering 8-ton adult size in a mere 20 years. That steep growth curve was the absolute standard in paleontology. It was printed in textbooks and treated as biological fact for generations of researchers. Our entire cultural and scientific vision of the animal was shaped by that rapid timeline. We pictured a creature that lived fast and grew faster. But that accepted speedrun was actually resting on a massive gap in the physical evidence. Aging a dinosaur relies on a process very similar to aging a tree. When you look at this cross-section of a trunk, you can count the concentric rings to measure exact years of life. Paleontologists do exactly the same thing with the internal rings hidden inside fossilized bone. But giant theropods present a unique biological hurdle. As they pack on thousands of pounds of mass, their bones naturally hollow out and expand to support the extra weight. In that physical morphing process, the bone tissue actually destroys its own internal center, erasing the earliest years of growth rings completely. Look at these fragmented pieces embedded in the stone. Because of that internal hollowing process, the fossil record is inherently broken. There is no single perfect T-Rex skeleton that holds a complete, unbroken record from birth to death. Without a complete set of those central rings, researchers had to estimate how long the early years lasted, and those early estimates created a compressed, skewed timeline of the predator's life. In early 2026, a research team led by scientists Holly Woodward and Nathan Myhrvold, pictured here, attacked the missing data problem from a new angle. They hypothesized that the existing incomplete bones still held unread data. Their first step was to slice the bone samples incredibly thin and place them under a microscope using a specialized filter called polarized light. This view shows what polarized light illuminated: dense, dark, concentric growth rings previous researchers couldn't see. But despite this higher ring count, the team hit a wall. The samples were missing their centers, meaning the earliest years remained a blank space. Uncovering more rings gave them a sharper picture of specific ages, but the team now needed a mechanism to connect those isolated fragments and bridge the gaps in the timeline. The researchers bypassed the lack of a complete skeleton by using a mathematical tool called a composite growth curve. The team compiled ring data from 17 T-Rex fossils. By mathematically mapping where younger preserved rings overlapped with older ones, they stitched a single continuous curve. The staggering result: T-Rex didn't reach adulthood in 2 decades, but took 40 years to reach its maximum size. By synthesizing those fragmented parts, the mathematics successfully overrode decades of biological assumptions. The king of the dinosaurs was a master of patience. Taking twice as long to reach full size meant the T-Rex spent an extended portion of its life in a sub-adult teenage phase. And if it required 4 entire decades just to finish growing, these animals likely lived significantly longer than the 30-year lifespan we previously assumed. This shift reveals a late Cretaceous ecosystem characterized by long-lived giants growing slowly alongside the ancient forests. The temporal rhythm of the prehistoric world was different than we thought. We have to replace the idea of a frantic speedrun with a slow-motion, deep-time ecosystem. It is remarkable that the T-Rex is the most heavily studied, widely recognized extinct animal on the planet, and yet we are only just now accurately measuring how long it lived. It took a combination of looking closer with polarized light and synthesizing isolated data points with new mathematics to uncover a biological reality that was hidden inside the fossil record. Scientific models are constant works in progress. Even 66 million years after they went extinct, there are always new secrets locked inside the bones, as long as we dealt the right tools to read them.